Recording. Hello, our next unit is integers, and our first lesson is on positive and negative integers. All right, so what are integers? So when we talk about integers, first of all, there's a symbol, a capital I, to represent integers, just like we saw when we were looking at whole numbers, it was a capital W that represented whole numbers. So integers are composed of all the positive numbers, all the negative numbers, and also the number 0. 0 is considered neutral. It's neither positive nor negative. So when we want to write out the set of integers, so capital I, we have these brackets here, and then we've got 0 there. To the right of 0 are the positive numbers. To the left of 0 are the negative numbers. So as you're moving right, if you're moving to the right on a number line, moving to the right, you are getting larger numbers moving to the right. As you move left, the numbers are getting smaller. Okay, so for example, when we see a +8 shown like that, that's an integer. That means it's a positive 8. And if we see a negative or a -5 like this, it's called -5. And like I said, the number 0, it is neutral. It does not have a positive or negative sign in front of it. The other thing I want to mention is positive 8 is also written as just 8. That means it's positive. So anytime there's no symbol in front of the 8, then it's just a positive 8. So we don't always write positive 8 with the plus symbol in front of it. But a negative number has to have the negative in front of it. Okay. All right, so integers are used in many ways. For example, temperature, if it's -22 degrees Celsius, you know it's going to be cold and you have to dress in warmer clothing. A skin diver, is that what they're called? I think they just mean like a swimming diver. They have to know how many meters below sea level that they're diving. So again, that would be a negative value. Profits and money, or we also use integers. For example, a farmer, they have to be able to sell their grain for more than what they paid for the seed. So that has to be a positive value. Otherwise, they'll end up with a negative bank account. So temperatures, elevations, even Gulf scores, losses, financial statements, lots of things, we use integers, right? A profit of $700 would be written as positive $700 or positive 700. If you lost $700, we would write it as negative 700. If anybody golfs or your parents golf, if a golfer shoots, for example, 4 under par, the score is written as -4 or -4. All right, so when we are looking at integers, we can represent them on a number line. And so again, looking at a number line this time, we have 0 here. On the right side of 0, we have the numbers, positive numbers, increasing. And then towards the left side of 0, we have the numbers that are negative and they're decreasing in value. All right, so let's take a look at these examples here. If we were climbing a mountain, would that be a positive or negative value? Yeah, positive. I'm just going to put plus. Going from the 3rd to the 9th floor, that would also be positive. A change in temperature can be both a positive or negative. So positive or negative. Yeah, it can be both. So next here we have the following integers, and we need to graph them on a number line. So I'm just going to put, let's call 0 here, and let's get these graphed. Looks like they're all negatives. So there is the integers graphed on the number line. They didn't put the -3 here, but -3 would be right there. All right, next, greater than or less than between integers. Let's try this next. All right, so placing the greater than sign or less than sign. Okay, so let's see here. First example, we have plus or positive 15 and negative 18. Which one would be larger? So it would be like this. Here we have negative 13 or negative 16. The negative 13 is larger than the negative 16. Okay, negative 12 or 0, the 0 is greater. The 0 or a positive 12, the positive 12 is greater. And then negative 15 or negative 13. Yes, the negative 13 is larger. Think of it on a number line. Which one is closer to the 0 would be larger. Zooming recording. So we're going to go from smallest to largest. So the smallest number here would be the negative 7. So negative 7 would be first. After that would be the negative 5. Okay, then the negative 4. Then we would have the negative 3. Then the negative 2. Then the negative 1. And then the positive 1. All right, so if ever you need help rearranging or putting them in order, sometimes it's good to draw yourself a number line like this to visualize. The second one, we're given 0, negative 6, positive 4, positive 9, and negative 3. So we need to rearrange from the smallest to largest. So the smallest number here would be the negative 6. That's the smallest. After that, we'd have the negative 3. We're getting closer to 0. So the next number in the question would be 0. Then we'd have the positive 4, and then we'd have the positive 9. And if you didn't include the positive in front of the 4 and 9, that's perfectly fine, because if you write 4 or 9, we already know that it is positive. All right, so with these questions here, we're writing out the set of integers. So the first question is the integers that are less than negative 4 but greater than negative 10. So less than negative 4 is going to the left, and greater than negative 10, we're going to the right. So all the integers that are included between the negative 4 and the negative 10, so that would be from left to right, that would be the negative 9, the negative 8, the negative 7, negative 6, and negative 5. So those would be the ones that are included, but it does ask us to write them out. So I'm just going to write them out here. Negative 5, negative 6, negative 7, negative 8, and negative 9. Okay, so greater than negative 4 but less than 6. Okay, so we would have negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, then you'd have the 0, and then we'd have the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, you do not include the 6 or the negative 4 because it doesn't say they're included. It's just greater than and less than. The last thing here, this is for grade 8s. It's in the grade 8's homework. It says to state the additive inverse for each of the following. So we're just looking for the opposite. So if we have negative 16, the additive inverse of that would be positive 16. If we have negative 8, the additive inverse of that would be positive 8. And then negative 87, it would be positive 87. Yeah. Okay. And that's just kind of getting us kind of ready for when we start doing algebra. The homework then for today is 3.1 odds for Math 7 and 4.1 odds for Math 8.